Alrighty, welcome in Play-by-Play Rugby back for another edition. The Auckland Blues are the Super Rugby champions for 2024. And to help me break it all down and touch on the international season just around the corner, Tyler Campbell at Rian Stowers. My name is Jordan Hughes with you once again. Boys, the Blues are the champions. Tyler?
I've given you my emotion, mate, but...
Yeah, this is the second time we've done this. Rian didn't hit...
Rian stuffed up the recording, so
I
we're
did
back
hit
here
it,
again.
but you hit it first.
Okay, classic miscommunication. Anyway, Tyler.
No, but to reiterate, obviously, recovered a bit now, but was hurting a bit on Saturday night with sort of loss in our club game. The boys going down to the Blues, and then the big one that really upset me was actually how badly the Wars got tailed up by the Titans. That one sort of still doesn't sit right for how stacked we were meant to be this year.
Yeah.
That one's hurting a lot.
And how well we were going leading into that round as well. I'm pretty
60
sure.
points, mate.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I'm pretty sure that we had won 3 games in a row.
The scary thing is, if Tamati and Davida Harris play well this week, I just don't see Sean Johnson getting back in there.
Which is crazy to think about, isn't it?
Because he was, runner-up Dally M. Everyone was...
Yeah.
He should have got it last year.
He should have got it.
Yeah.
But this year, he's been
Blow
far from
up.
his best.
Anyway, we are a rugby pod. So the Blues 43, the Chiefs 10, breaking a 21-year drought. It was half-time, was 20 points to 3. Tyler, firstly, what was your assessment of the game? How'd you see it?
Yeah, obviously, the Blues were just clinical, is the best way to say it. And you can talk about the weather and all the other factors leading into it, but the big thing for me was their big players stepped up. You had Akita Ioane play his best game of the season. Patrick Tuipulotu off a MCL injury, which he rushed back to play for, getting man of the match. Thought Rico Ioane was outstanding. Thought his defensive work again is second to none. He's becoming one of the best defenders sort of in world rugby, I reckon, in that 13 position. And then just how good they are in the A-zone. And we've seen it from about round 3, how clinical they are at sort of going forward, retaining the ball, using their physicality and big bodies. They put on a lot of pressure, which sort of causes teams to sort of give away penalties because they're desperate to get the ball back. And I'll give credit to the Chiefs. They defended really well in that first half to only leak 20 points. So sucks to lose, and I'm hoping that they say you got to lose one to win one. Well, we've lost 2 now, so hopefully we're favourites going into next year.
Absolutely. For you, Reen, as mentioned before, obviously D-Mac was on the back foot. His forward pack wasn't going forward, made it hard for him to get anything going.
Yeah, definitely. I think playing behind a dominant pack is way easier than playing behind a pack that's going backwards. And against the Blues, I think that was sort of always going to be a problem against them. But I think that the biggest problem that the Chiefs had is that they just couldn't string together phases. Every time that they would start to build momentum, something would go wrong. We talked about Etini Nanai-Saturo's exit goes straight out. He gets that down the other end of the field. Who knows what happens there? Straight from the kickoff, they get that chance. Sean Stevenson throws the ball into touch. You get the line-out throw. Like, they just weren't winning those battles that would give them a chance to build momentum.
Yep.
And then, like the Blues, a big physical team, you don't want to be able to give them phases on phases on phases. And I think that's what the Blues were able to do. Just roll through with dominance and keep getting that game line.
And for you being a 10 yourself, what do you make of Plummer?
I thought that was the best game he's obviously played for the Blues, and I thought he was one that maybe have been a late bolter into the All Blacks, putting his hand up. As we sort of touched on before, like when your pack's going that forward, it's a lot easier to play well at 10, but that doesn't take away what he did on the defensive side of things. I thought his defence was outstanding, and the tone's set when Ramakapuepi tries to get a dominant carry on an exit, and he puts on a big hit with Finlay Christie on a 12. That's sort of something different, and he probably wasn't going to get that 10 jersey at the start of the year. Perifetta and Zahn Sullivan were both sort of there, and both had injuries, and he got moved in there and performed every week, got better and better every week, and sort of earned that jersey, and sort of looks like he's going to be the, Blues 10 moving forward with Stevie Perifetta playing at the back. Be interesting to see how that plays out next year, whether they do bring Stevie back up. I've heard Zahn's trying to... Well, there's rumours that were on socials that he was going to the Crusaders because he wants to play 10.
Yeah, okay.
So
That'd be pretty good for the comp.
they're great for the comp, I think. But obviously the Crusaders have good young 10s down there at the moment too, with
true.
Rivers and... what's the other one's name? Kimura. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. But no, I thought Harry Plummer was outstanding and definitely sort of deserves that 10 spot for the Blues.
And for you, Ree, obviously being the second best outside back on this couch, what do you make of Caleb Clark's hat-trick?
My first.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just some people that can do it all, and he's one of them. He's big, he's fast, he's agile. I mean, honestly, watching that game, it's like, how do you stop that one-on-one?
Yeah.
Like, he's got to be the hardest player in Super Rugby to...
I can tell you. You don't.
Yeah. Like, he's got to be the hardest player in Super Rugby one-on-one to tackle. Like, he just looked so powerful, so fast. They say, what is it? Mass plus acceleration equals force. That's a lot of force.
A lot of force. He's got that All Blacks winger spot locked up. One of them.
I don't know. I actually have a story about Caleb Clark.
Hit me.
I had my worst ever game against him.
Oh, I'm surprised.
It was he was fresh out of school. I would have been about 20 at this point. He was 18. First time I gave him the outside, thinking I was quicker. Got gas.
Because you on the wing at this point? Where
Yes,
were
I
you?
was on the wing at this point.
Why are you so surprised?
Yeah,
No,
why you-
but the people don't know that. So I'm telling the
So,
fans.
I'm just saying.
This was we were playing Chiefs under 20s. It was like trial games for NZ 20s, and we all matched up. I think he was left wing, I was right wing. Pretty much played my way out of the team playing against him,
So would everyone.
and he played his way in. And full credit to, because first time I gave him the outside, couldn't catch him. Next time I got in front, got run over, and then I thought, okay, I'm gonna give his side on, not too far away, and he comes off his left foot and steps inside me, and he's so big and so powerful. I've stuck a hand out, didn't even phase him. I was like a fly.
Yeah. How much weight were you giving up? Was he still like 100 kilos? What was the
Yeah,
gap?
he was out of school. He still would have been about 105, 110, I reckon.
You would
out
have
of
70
school.
kilos ringing wet, doing your
No,
best.
what was that? I would have been about 87.
Okay,
But
yeah.
yeah, it was a long day. Long day at the office. And I remember that was sort of his first game where everyone was like, oh, yeah, he was good at school. And I'm going to claim that I made him stand out from that point. Because everyone started watching him after that.
There you go. Well done. So the
You
Blues
made him
are
all
the...
black.
You did. That's a good story. I like that.
Made him through my own embarrassment.
All right, so the Blues are the champions, Super Rugby 2024. It's been a pretty exciting season. We've certainly enjoyed bringing it to you every week. Tipping front, there was only one champion. It was Ryan Stowers, 73 from 96, 76%. Absolute sharpshooter, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
And then me and Tyler, we drew 68 each at 70% for the year. So that's
What
not
do I
bad.
win?
I don't know. I was
Feed?
thinking at the start of the year, we didn't. Next year, we're still going. Hopefully we are. We should put something in place.
Okay.
Because, yeah.
Just a coffee will do, thanks.
Yeah.
guys.
We can do that for you, mate.
Yeah, cheers.
That's fair.
Oat milk, decaf.
Caramel latte.
Yeah,
That's
sweet.
not too bad. Simple.
Yeah, we'll work on that. Lovely. All right, boys. The international season got underway on the weekend as well. England 52-17 over Japan. The Eddie Jones era underway. I know, Tyler, you had a good look at this. What do you think?
As I was interrupted before, Marcus Smith.
Mm.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
The vision to sort of be on one side of the ruck, catch the ball and turn and crossfield kick
Yeah, that was
back the other way. Like, there's not many players on the planet that have that type of vision. But then on top of that is try. Thought that was really good. The only sort of, I guess, discredit to his game was the yellow card. And maybe he's still probably working on the defensive side of things at test level because he is quite small. But the thing I'll give him is he's brave. He does actually go low and try and get in there. And he's going up against some of the best players in the world. But I thought he was outstanding and really directed them, and especially with them trying to sort of figure out life without Owen Farrell. So thought he did really, really well there, and I thought he stepped up. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes with his next challenge being against the sort of All Blacks in a few weeks' time.
On the other side of things, Japan, obviously with Eddie Jones, do we expect it to be closer than that, or is that sort of as expected?
It's hard to say. Like, we all know how world-class England is and how good they are at playing in the areas of the field that they know that they thrive in. And I think we saw a bit more of a bit razzle-dazzle, and that comes with Marcus Smith.
Yeah.
But for a majority of the game, it was the same sort of thing. Dominant carries, kicking, getting into the 22, and then just working phases around the corners. But I don't honestly, what can you expect from Eddie Jones?
Well, he's had a rough trot, hasn't he? He can't buy a win at the moment.
Surely he's no longer invincible.
No, he's gone now,
He's
mate.
got to cop some more heat now.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So England playing New Zealand very soon. It's going to be a great series.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Can't wait for that. And then in England, we saw South Africa take on Wales at Twickenham. 41-13. The Springboks really kicked away with it in the second half. It was 14-13 at half time. South Africa's a new talent coming through. Some crazy outside backs. Thoughts?
I don't like the riffing, to be honest. So, 2 yellows for Wales. They did well not to concede points, and then the fullback goes up to catch a high ball.
Oh, yeah.
His foot comes out because he's trying to find the ground, and he gets a yellow for that. And they want to review it to see if it should go for a red.
I heard this chat on between two posts. How long
Yeah.
did that take? Like they were saying, like the ball in play was just like
5
terrible.
minutes it
Yeah.
took for them to decide whether to make it a yellow.
Yeah.
And even when the on-field ref had decided, the sideline ref came over and goes, I don't think there's any foul play in this. He's gone up to catch the ball, ends up in an awkward position, sticks his foot out to try to get back his leverage and balance.
Yeah.
And then the on-field ref still goes, nah, I think it's foul play here. Calls out
See
to
ya.
it. Yeah.
Did he? It looks like at international level they're bringing in the report system. So yellow card and then
On
report.
report,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
the review system. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think they may have done it in the World Cup, but I knew it was only here
Yeah,
at
they
one
did,
point.
didn't they? Do it in the World
They
Cup?
just started
Yeah.
doing it in the World Cup, but that's good. I'm hoping the next step is bringing in the 20-minute red card because the way you can get red carded for accidental things these days.
Yeah.
Like it's not a red card used to be malicious intent, like a swinging arm to
Yeah.
the head, a blatant coat hanger,
A tip tackle on his head.
a tip
Yeah.
tackle, a punch. Those things are red cards. Sometimes now it's just, how fast the game is. It's a game of inches, and you get your tackle height slightly wrong. And sometimes you're not even really coming with too much force. You're just coming to make that sort of upright, I guess, assist tackle, and you cop
Yeah.
someone, you get red carded for it. So I would like the red card to sort of go back to 20 minutes. But if it is malicious, then be like, okay, no, this is full game. Like if you
Yeah.
throw a punch or something.
Yeah, very interesting. So the Springboks now they'll take on Ireland in that series coming up, which is going
That's
to be
going to be good.
yeah, it's going to be so much good footy ahead, and of course the Welsh come to Australia very soon.
Did you see the video of Rusty giving the young 10 a chance at that kick?
No, what happened?
So they go up to the coach's box and you see him get the mic. He goes, I'll see what the kid can do. And it was the kicker, he kicked it from like
Oh, kicked from
55, 60
yeah.
out.
Oh, yeah.
with-
And it
Holy
just kept
shit.
going.
Bro, yeah.
And you see him after and he's just like, yeah, he's probably going to found me another Andre Pollard that can kick from
Yeah,
anywhere on the
yeah,
field. But
yeah.
the actual excitement for him and the sort of, you just see him go, you know what? Let's see what the kid can do.
That
And he
thing
just-
had 10, 15 minutes on it
bangs
still.
Yeah.
Bro,
It
unbelievable.
looked like he was kicking in altitude.
yeah.
The way it floated too.
Yeah.
Like,
Razzie definitely, there's no doubt that he's passionate and loves the game of rugby.
Oh,
eh?
yeah.
and I think he loves
to-
his players.
Yeah, exactly. To celebrate something like that. Oh, well, we know he loves his players. You remember how they did the Zoli Mapimpi, they did the shirt presentation, brought him to tears, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
Because they had all the names of their family and
Yeah, they
people
do it
that-
well.
that
They
had
do it well.
supported them.
Absolutely. And then the final match, which was a part of a double header, the Barbarians 45-32 over Fiji. Sam Whitelock starting off his career on the right note. We're in the Barbars today, mate. Fiji were very poor.
Oh, honestly, I feel sorry for Fiji, and I think
100%.
we spoke about this during the World Cup. How if Fiji were able to get all the players that they potentially could have
Yeah.
to play in those tests, you'd see different games. But majority of that team's all the Fiji drill boys, and you're missing out on so many people in Europe. And then I also heard that the clubs in Europe were allowing players to go play for the Barbars, but not allowing players
Yeah.
to represent Fiji.
Trash.
What
And then
the
they had visa issues as well.
Yeah, the
getting in there.
visa issues at the airport. They're a professional rugby team.
Apparently their flight stuffed up. Then they went to America,
Yeah.
which is what stuffed their visas. Because they were meant to go straight to London.
Yeah.
So their flight got cancelled or delayed. Then they had to go to America to get in, and that's why they had the issue. Apparently they lost two days of training going into it. If there was any team that could turn up and still play good footy,
Yeah.
normally it would be Fiji. And they still showed glimpses of great Fijian flair throughout the game.
Oh yeah,
But
definitely. And I think that's one of the better Barbars teams that we've seen.
Yeah.
Barbars teams that we've seen in a while.
they're meant to, well, they're close to being, I think they may have been upgraded now to a Tier 1 nation. World Rugby needs to step in and help these guys out. Because people love watching them play. They're a draw
We
for
saw
the
the World
money.
Cup, mate. They're quarterfinalists.
And I understand the clubs is outside the international window, so clubs hold on to their players. But if they're saying yes to certain players and no to these guys, you can't do that. So they got to find a way where everything's fair here. And I understand Fiji don't invest a lot of money into World Rugby because, obviously they don't have the money of an England or a France or even a New Zealand.
Yeah.
So we've got to find a way where there's a level playing field because that should have been a build-up game for Fiji going into their next sort of
Yeah, they've
test.
got their Pacific Nations Cup. Is that starting soon?
Are they in that this time?
I'm pretty sure I thought they were.
Yeah. Well, they'll be starting up. So you want to give them a decent crack there.
Well, I was reading on Twitter heaps that the Barbarians are probably not the right team to play for their first test match.
I mean, it has potential to be one of the most exciting games in the world.
Yeah, but I guess as test match footy, it was just free flowing craziness. I don't know.
Do they have New Zealand?
Who?
Fiji?
Playing New Zealand?
Yes.
No, we're doing... Oh, they do, in San Diego.
They're playing New Zealand soon.
Yes, they do.
I think we play England, Fiji.
What the hell?
Yep.
Because that's what the squad's picked for before the rugby championship. And it's like Aussie plays Wales, or Georgia, Wales or something.
Now you're spot on. So they're playing in San Diego against Fiji.
Okay.
Soon. Don't know when.
It would be nice to help them build for that
That's
and
pretty
give
cool.
them their players.
They got mad kid, eh?
Who's that?
Fiji.
Yeah, it's
because they're with Nike.
Yeah, facts.
Bro, Nike's smart.
Yeah, they
That's like the
Get
most
on them early.
entertaining shit like ever.
Yeah, it's a good signing.
Yeah.
All right, so that's international footy. Nothing on this weekend, but we'll get back to you next week for our big previews. All right, boys, we've seen some squad announcements. We'll start with the Wallabies. Joe Schmidt has announced his first 38-man squad. I'll let you start where you want us to go with this, Tyler. What do you think? Plenty of ins
It's
and
an
outs.
interesting squad. There's obviously a few boys that I think have been hard done by. I think Josh Canham,
Big
our
one.
boy, is definitely one that's hard done by. But
yeah.
also big shout out to Angus Bly. I think congrats to him because he's someone who's worked really, really hard.
Yep.
Had a couple of injuries this year that limited his playing time, but obviously Smith's seen the potential in him and the sort of things you don't see in a football game that he does in terms of the ruck work, line out work, things you don't go and watch a game of rugby for sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, he does all the tough stuff that goes underappreciated. So it's stoked to see him, but yeah, it's interesting to see he's stayed away from international players that are overseas.
Yeah.
I like that, to
He's
be honest.
cut ties
Yeah.
with everyone leaving, so your Carter Gordons, your etc.
Marky Mark.
Marky Mark.
Yeah.
Would have liked to have seen Corey Toole play, but obviously stoked he's going to sevens and they're
Yeah.
focusing on.
But
a
I
gold
reckon he
medal.
might come back in that squad after. That's what I think, personally.
When's the rugby championship start? Because I'd want him for the rugby
Yeah,
championship.
it's Olympics is done. He comes
Okay.
back in.
Then that's fair.
Well, I think that if he does, if there is an opportunity for him to come back in, I think he will slot in pretty easily, to be honest.
So the big ins, obviously, Darby Lancaster was in that side as well.
I was sort of surprised by
Darby or Tim?
that. Yeah, that's
that's-
exactly what I've got
'cause-
written down.
So looking at it, the only reason I think he's gone Darby is it looks like he's gone bigger. He's
Yeah.
gone for big
Yeah.
bodies.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Tim Ryan probably did more than Darby did
Oh, 100%.
in the super season because they probably played about the same amount of games.
Yeah.
But Darby's actually a bigger body and a lot stronger in contact. So that was one thing I was trying to work out with the squad, what he actually went for. And that could be the difference between Blythe and Canham, for example.
Yeah, exactly what I had. Physical approach throughout the 15. Like, I think that's why.
Darby's an athlete, like he's a big boy.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he gets the nod over Tim Ryan, and probably why those other bigger locks get the nod over Josh Canham.
And it might be good for Tim. Go back to club footy. I don't know, play more.
Nope.
Nope. Yeah.
Would you want to see him in that Wallaby squad
Yes.
straight away?
Yep.
Yep.
But don't we think we
Have
do
you
this?
ever
all-
tried tackling that prick?
But don't we do this? Oh, no, okay, take your fucking Bond hat off.
Okay.
Don't we think we do this a lot? We get these guys, we build them up, and they get in the Wallabies, and it goes south real fast.
Well, I think this is a big squad. I don't think
True.
it doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily mean that he has to play, but I would like to see him straight in there after the performances that he had this year.
yeah, I reckon.
He was a standout. For sure.
There's two ways. Like, if he's in the squad and still playing club rugby, for me, that'd be ideal for him.
Yeah.
Because you're learning the system. They've got him on a full-time program, monitoring him, trying to maybe put some muscle and a bit more weight on him because he probably still needs to be putting on another 5 to 10 kilos while trying to keep that speed. And he gets that experience. He gets to work with Kurtley Beale, for example,
Yeah.
who's been there at test level, who's got close to 100 caps for the Wallabies, who can help him find those little intricacies of the game that sort of help players develop quicker.
It wouldn't surprise me. Joe Schmidt, pretty switched on guy. I reckon he'll be involved at some stage. Tim Ryan, I can see him.
Oh, I think that the
Like-
players that have only just missed out,
Yeah.
I don't think there's much in it, and I think that there's still,
Communication for sure.
there's definitely still communication going back and forth between them.
Some other big names: the Kurtley Beale in, Charlie Cale in, Jeremy Williams.
I'm gonna take these out.
Dylan Peach is in from the Waratahs as well.
Another big body.
Yeah.
Peach.
Yeah.
And he's tough, man.
And great on defence.
Yeah.
They showed some little highlights of him and the way he sort of throws his body into contact.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Joe Smith would have liked that because I think by looking and reading some of the articles that have come out, like we heard Noah, I think it came out today, talking about obviously they've got a game plan, but Joe Smith's been real hard on the little things like the ruck work and stuff like that sort of help your game flow better.
Yeah.
So I think if you look at a guy like Dylan Peach, having that sevens experience, he's great at the breakdown. He's going to be good in the wide breakdown. He's physical and he's going to fight through contact. He's going to fight for every metre. And man, that sort of looks like the type of player he's looking at.
Lovely. Well, before we do it, Wales next week. What's your Wallabies backline? What do we think?
Halfbacks was the weirdest position of selection for me. Ryan Lonergan,
Yeah, out.
I feel, was robbed.
Jake Gordon,
Nick White.
and McDermott.
You got to start McDermott. I don't think he's had his best season, but I still think he's the
I
best
don't
of
reckon
the
he
three.
does. I reckon he starts Gordon.
Starts Gordon.
You just said it.
I think so as well.
Big bodies.
yeah.
I just reckon he will.
No, and he doesn't disrupt the flow of a game,
True.
Jake Gordon. And I feel like Tate McDermott, he was doing a little bit of that.
I'm glad
before.
we're on the Tate, Jake Gordon, and we're leaving Nick White out because I think he's the luckiest man in that squad.
He's just experienced.
Experience, and I
you know.
get that, but how long's Ryan Lonergan got to wait on the side before he
Well,
gets his chance?
Yeah, stiff.
And then at 10, I think you're going Noah.
You have to go
We
Noah.
agree there. Yeah,
Yeah,
Noah's the
no
man.
arguments there. 12,
Hunter, no
pretty
arguments.
easy as
And
well.
then Lenny at 13.
Yep.
I'm thinking Len at 13, and then
This is the big one. Back three.
the back three,
Tom Wright fullback.
Tom
we
Wright
agree there.
fullback, I think is definite.
Tom Wright, Tom Wright and Callaway.
I can
Will
kill
be
on
15,
the
14.
stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, fact.
Those two will be either way. I'd go Tom Wright at the back and Callaway on the wing.
Mm-hmm.
The other wing's the interesting one, whether he goes Derby or Peach.
Yeah, he goes a young fella
You
to.
could even go Fluke.
Or
Ooh, yeah.
he throws one out a spanner in the works, goes Donaldson at fullback, Tom Wright and Callaway on the wings.
Yes. Option
Back
two.
three is the place where I'm probably the least certain of what they're going to select.
Yeah, definitely.
I reckon he goes a debutant on the other wing because look at the rest of that back line. It's all guys that have played somewhat.
Give
decent
someone a
caps.
go?
Yeah, I reckon like a Peach maybe, or
I think that Peach, he's physical, like, just does his job. I don't think there's a lot of risk.
Yeah, he'd
Whereas
be
with
safe.
with a Derby, I don't think we've seen how physical he can be yet.
but I can Fluke. I reckon he deserves an opportunity to debut.
Yeah, but I don't know if like
Is
You don't
Fluky
like-
really a test winger, though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
facts.
I would like to see him just get the
Hell of a
nod.
footballer.
Yeah, I'd like to see him
Definitely
just
should
play.
be in the 23.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, that's probably the only real spot I can see could go either way. All right, we'll see how it all pans out. So, take on the Wales in Sydney next Saturday evening, which should be an absolute cracker. The Wallaby squad in the books. Now we turn over to the All Blacks squad, boys. Got announced a few days ago. Plenty of chat around this one. Scott Barrett named as captain, vice captains Artie Savia and Geordie Barrett. Wallace at TT in, obviously plenty of chat about no Hoskins at Tutu.
Yeah.
I'll take it away, boys.
I think when I first saw the squad, I was like question marks everywhere. I was like, how the hell hasn't this person made it? Like players that I'll name just off the bat: Peter Luckeye, Braden Yosse. I thought at least one of them would be in there. Hoskins to Tutu.
Yeah.
I thought that he'd definitely done enough this season to make it. Ruben Love. I thought that he would probably get the nod over Peter Fitter.
But I think you're right. I think his finals performances hurt him.
Yeah, exactly, and yeah.
Do you reckon? Or one,
That's it.
sorry,
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
one
that's-
of you.
Come on.
Yeah,
Oh, you got
yeah.
a collective. One of you said it.
Yeah, but then, I mean, looking at the back row that's selected, like almost forgetting that Artie Savia,
Yeah.
like who do you take out for any one of them three? I don't know. So, I mean,
Yeah,
I can't really argue with it.
It's a good
the only
problem.
thing, they got like two genuine fullbacks, dependent on what they do with Bowden Barrett and what's his name, D-Mac.
They've got versatility, though.
You got Will
Yeah.
Jordan as well, but like,
Will Jordan's not... I don't think he's available to the Rugby Championship.
exactly.
D-Max, you're 10.
Yeah, yeah, but then what are you doing at fullback? So then it's only between Peter Fitter or Bowden Barrett at fullback.
You wouldn't really take more than two, to be honest. Like, you look
Yeah.
at the Wallaby squad, they've sort of... Because Callaway covers that there's a bit of versatility, but why would you really... You don't really need more than two fullbacks, and if one of your fullback goes down,
Yeah.
you bring one in.
What would you do? Who's your 15 against England first up?
Well, with the squad that they've picked, I think I'm even surprised that Sean Stevenson didn't get a crack.
Yeah,
I thought that he played unreal this year.
he did.
Yeah. So first test, I'm going D-Mac at 10, Bowden Barrett at 15, but like I'm honestly not a fan of Bowden Barrett at 15. I never have been.
I'll get your thoughts on the squad overall, Tyler.
Interesting squad.
Yeah.
And the problem is when you've got a lot of depth that New Zealand rugby's producing at the moment, people are always going to have people they think or players that they think should be in there, and there's going to be a lot of debate. And New Zealand's so passionate about rugby that if you get it wrong, fans are going to roast
Yeah,
you.
facts.
So for me, the one thing about Scott Robinson is he is very tactical. So he would have picked this squad with a game plan in mind and what sort of suits what he's trying to do. So I looked at sort of the Satiti comparison, and we get a lot more work rate out of Satiti, according to sort of the stats. Whether that's true or not, I haven't sat there and analysed them. But then you lose a bit of line-out work with Satutu because Satutu's really good at the line-out. So it's interesting to see how that dynamic's going to work. But I generally think he's picked young players to play in that Fiji test. I don't think we may see a cameo from Satiti off the bench. But it's the same as hooker. Is it George Bell?
Yeah.
The hooker from the Satyrs. They're young. They've just come out of 20s last year. They've had decent seasons. So I think those two in particular, you'll see them run out against Fiji and sort of get some game time, and he'll be looking at them and go, can these guys do it at test level? Because at the end of the day, yes, you're prepping to win this year, but we're also prepping for him with a 4-year contract, the World Cup in 2027.
Yeah.
And at some point, you've got to develop these players and give them game time so that you can see how they perform at test level. You can tell them you need to work on this when you go back to Super next year if you want to remain an All Black. And I'm sure that Scott Robinson's had the chat with Hoskins around what he needs to do. And I think it's probably around a lot of the tight stuff.
Yeah.
Probably, I don't think he does much breakdown work. But the thing you lose is X Factor, obviously, because he's very good. He scores tries.
Scores points, yeah.
Does all that sort of stuff. But at test level, is he going to be able to have that much space? Is he still going to be able to do the same thing? Because there's a lot less space at test level.
Yeah, I think that's another thing as well with the back rowers. Like, defensively,
Very good.
I think that is the best back row that you, like, all of those options are the best options that you can have defensively. And like, going up against England, I think that's probably the smartest matchup that you would want to have.
It's going to be physical.
Exactly.
I don't know what the dynamic of that back row is going to be.
Yeah, neither.
Artie's
yeah.
playing 8 or Artie's playing 7.
True.
With it, Ethan Blackadder's at 6.
Yeah.
Like, looking at the squad, it looks like it's going to be Ethan Blackadder, Artie at 8, and Dalton at 7. Or the only other one I think maybe sneaks into the 6 jersey is Luke Jacobson, because Ethan Blackadder hasn't played much footy.
Not much at all this year, no.
But when people were sort of bringing him down, like, when that man's played in the black jersey, he's been outstanding. His work rate, his physicality, his like how he gets around the field is exceptional.
Is this Blackadder?
Yeah, Blackadder.
Oh, yeah.
He's
yeah.
such a good
He's a
footballer,
mongrel,
and
bro.
he's mongrel.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he's so mongrel, he hurts himself so many times because he throws his body into everything. So
Yeah, facts.
I wish for him to stay healthy, because I think he will own that 6 jersey if he can stay on the field.
Oh, 100%. And he'll become one of those cult heroes for years to come if he can stay out there, because he's just a nutcase.
He's an absolute nutcase. So what's your back line for first test against England?
I think you start TJ, to
You
be
got to
honest.
start TJ.
Yeah.
I have TJ. With Cortez coming off the bench, you don't start a young 9,
Yeah.
I don't think. I'd love to see Cortez off the bench. Finlay Christie's obviously still there too.
Yeah.
But I'd probably go TJ and Cortez. Maybe slightly biased with Cortez.
Okay, so we've got TJ, D-Mac at 10. We agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with D-Man.
D-Mac and Bodie will be the 10-15. I just don't know which way they're going to play it.
Interchangeable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it really affects too much, but I want D-Mac to get the nod at 10
I
because...
feel like he deserves to. He's been playing. I can they'll do it because he's been playing
Yeah,
local.
yeah.
The surprise thing is whether they bring Bodie off the bench in the first test. Because he hasn't played...
Yeah.
Like, love the Japan League, but players that normally come back from Japan, the games are high scoring and not as physical as Super Rugby, let alone test level. So he may need a game or two off the bench to sort of get back to that. He's like ultimate professional,
Yeah, you see this a lot, for sure.
but sometimes they need that extra game to come back. We saw it with Retallick. When Retallick did his stint in Japan, when he came back, it took him 3 or 4 games to be the Brodie Retallick that we knew.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see how that all plays out.
12-13?
Geordie and Rico.
Yeah. Has to
think-
be. Has to be.
I think they still stay with that combination.
George's your vice captain now as well.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't even think that's contestable.
Yeah, facts. And then the fun one, boys, the back 3.
The back 3 is fucking...
We're gonna put-
This could go any way, but I'm going to go with... I would have Caleb Clark on one wing, Sever Reese on the other, and then whoever between Bowden Barrett or D-Mac, whoever's going 10 or 15.
I don't think Mark Tillier's lost his starting spot.
Okay.
He was probably... Well, both our wingers were exceptional in the
It
World
was
Cup.
on the grand final, World Cup, Talia and...
Jordan.
Oh, okay. Right, you lost 2.
And I don't think Tillier's done enough to lose his spot. So I think he holds down that 14 jersey. Was he 11? No, the 11 jersey.
Yeah.
And then the other one's up between sort of Sevu and Caleb Clark. And the thing is, I'd probably love Sevu. Thought he's been the best winger in the comp this year, but I feel like they'll lean more towards Caleb Clark for that bigger body.
Yeah, exactly. You got to have one dominant.
And the reason for that being, you sort of... need someone that's going to help you break the gain line at time. And Mark Talia and Seville are very similar. Their work rates are outstanding. They're
Slippery,
everywhere. They're
yep.
slippery. They do the pick and drives. They do all that stuff. I think we still need that one sort of power winger. And I would have actually loved it to be in Leicester for Anganuku.
Well, yeah.
But unfortunately,
Well, he would have
he's
been.
left us overseas.
He's in Toulon. What, do you reckon they might go Perifet at 15 and go Barry off the bench?
They may for the first test.
The first one.
Be interesting to see.
I can see
I
that
think
happening.
Perifet is very underrated.
Well, I don't rate him.
You don't rate him?
Point proven.
Yeah, well, like I was surprised that he got the nod over.
He was
Ruben.
great in that final on the weekend. He's safe under the high balls. Kicking game's good. And for some reason, he's good at breaking tackles.
It's a bit
For
elusive.
no particular reason.
Yep. All right, well, so that's our... We'll get into it next week for the full teams that get announced, but a very exciting time. Test matches around the corner. Other stuff, boys. Rugby Sevens, the Olympics Repechage tournament on the weekend, which was the final qualification for the Olympic Games. South Africa for the men and China for the women. Great Britain, not in the Olympics,
Yeah,
which is
I did see
crazy.
that.
They're made up of 4 countries, not in there.
Yeah.
They've really fallen off.
Blessing and a curse being made up of 4 countries, though.
Yeah.
Because now you come into an Olympic year and
wish
you've
it-
got
yeah.
to sort of fuse them together to make them perform.
Well, you saw in the World Series, they haven't really delivered.
Yeah, exactly. Like they've been fused together in the World Series, haven't they?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, and they've just been
Not full
bad.
time, or just this year.
No, full time now.
Yeah,
Full time.
Scotland, Wales, they all got scrapped individually.
just-
yeah. Which is kind of sad. It's just it likes seeing the Scottish Sevens and I don't know.
bro. England were always good.
Yeah.
Well, they had
Dan Norton,
exactly.
he's the
That's
man.
The one,
yeah.
yeah.
Growing up watching him.
Yeah, hard.
And then other ones I saw around the world. Dan McKellar sacked as Leicester head coach.
TAR's coach next year.
That's the chat they're saying. They just signed Simon Ray. What's the Fijian guy? Ray
Yeah,
Looney
yeah, I've seen
as
that.
head of performance.
Yeah.
So yeah, McKellar's on the cards for that.
Harsh sacking.
Yeah, well, yeah, he was Wallabies forward coach last year. Been there for a year. Gone. Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
Unlucky.
Tough. Yeah, so very much so. And then on the Rugby Sevens front as well, pretty sad. I want to get your take on this. Alyssa Lifau Whakasalea did her ACL, ruled out.
Well done. How many times did you practice that?
Mate, I've called her many times. Anyway, so
what?
I've commentated her plenty of times.
oh.
Shut up. So this is the 4th ACL in 12 months in this Aussie Sevens women's group. Demi Hayes, Maddie Ashby, and Lily Dick, all ACLs. For a man that knows a thing or two about it, what's your thoughts around this?
It's a hard one because ACLs can be pretty random, and there's obviously training and strength stuff and everything that you do to prevent them. But at points you can overtrain.
Yeah.
I know they've been working really hard, this Aussie Sevens squad, because they won a gold medal, as everyone else is. And I guess when we sort of talk to Maddie and Teagues, it seems like they've been doing a lot of work, and
Yep.
you can't really speculate whether they've overtrained, whether they've undertrained, whether it's just luck of the
It's
draw.
just unlucky, like, man.
Sometimes it happens. Like, it doesn't matter what sort of environment you are. It seems like if one goes, heaps goes.
Yeah.
Like in 2019 with the Chiefs, we had 4 broken hands in our preseason.
Yeah, right.
Like
Random.
it just seems to be, it just happens in rugby that everything sort of flows on. When one injury happens, it seems
Yeah.
to. I think you look at us this year. We seem to have had heaps of freaking injuries too.
Hamstrings. We've
Hamstrings.
had so many hamstrings.
Like
Yeah.
it just seems like there's a common theme, and
2
you can do
PCLs,
rehab,
yeah.
all this stuff, prehab, and it just seems like it's sort of, you have those years where things don't go your way, and there's no one really to blame, and it's unfortunate for those girls, especially because I think all 4 of them have been in the squad the last sort of
Yeah, for
3-4 years building for this Olympics, and they're going to miss out.
And then, like, to go down, like, Whakasalea has 30 days out, fucking got it. And she's a gun, too. I reckon she's really, really good.
And then you got New Zealand, who Sarah Hiddeney was named.
Yeah, she's
And I
not coming
think
back
she's
to
only
one.
been out for like 5 months.
For ACL.
Yeah, 5-6 months. This will be her last sort of gig.
Yeah, yeah.
Like this.
What are
Olympics.
Patty Toops and her doing? We need to know the secrets.
Well, Patty was MCL.
Yeah.
Strap that thing up.
Anyway, so we'll get into more Olympics coverage as we get into it, but yeah, just wanted to touch on that one. Any other? Oh, Josh Cannon, boys.
Yep, with the Reds.
2-year
moving
deal.
up to Queensland.
Obviously, your good mate. How's he feeling about it all?
Yeah, I think he's really excited to come up here. Obviously, sad about what happened with Melbourne because he grew up there. It was always his dream to play for the Rebels. But I think that closes, and now he's got another opportunity. And I mean,
I think it's a good fit, the way
Yeah.
the Reds play.
oh yeah, that's exactly what I said to him. I think the way that Les Kiss looks like he wants to play, it doesn't. It looks like expansive footy, and if you've got a lock that can do the things that Josh Cannon can do with the ball, you're cheering when you're trying to play expansive.
It's going to be so interesting to see what they do with their team next year.
That is
You're going to
also
have Ryan
something.
Smith, Angus Blythe, Sidu Udu, Josh Canham. And don't get me wrong, Josh was great to have a trot with on the weekend. He's such a good footballer. Got a little try assist from him.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know where that pill came from.
Yeah.
He finds a way.
He finds a way to make things happen at times.
Yeah.
And he's X Factor. So it'd be interesting to see how that looks for the Reds moving forward. And it's good to have that much depth. It probably means they're not going to pick up a Lucan.
Yeah.
So he'll be looking to go elsewhere in Australia or hopefully not overseas.
Well, yeah. What I'm hearing is the Waratahs are in all sort like trying to, because obviously Rugby Australia trying to.
No
get
one wants to go there.
Yeah, trying to get these players to go there.
Yeah, no one wants to go there.
But there's no coach yet. You got to wait to get a coach.
Yes, that's what I said. There's no coach. There's no.
Yeah.
You want to go somewhere where the coach is putting trust in you, and you know the
Want
coach
you, yeah.
believes that you're a genuine player. Like imagine if they sign all these players there, they sign a coach, and he's like,
No.
I don't really rate you as a footballer.
Yeah,
And you're spending your
and
whole
it does
time right on the
happen.
bench.
It does
100%.
happen. Like
It does.
coaches sometimes will just rub off the wrong way on one person and be like, nah, it's
sorry.
done.
Well, it's like when you have a changeover coach. Like you sign a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
First year deal, you might be starting, and then the next 2 years, you see yourself sort of relegated down. And it's because the way different coaches play and different coaches sort of see the game
Yeah.
is going to affect how a coach sort of has an opinion on you and whether he wants you in that squad.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
So I can see why players aren't signing that. Also, I wouldn't really want to live in Sydney too. It's too busy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Obviously, Kellaway's there, but they've got some work to
Going
do.
home.
They've got all these contracted players, all these contracted spots available.
They got to sort it soon though,
Yeah, they just want to.
because I think franchises need to know, because they get all these players come in and they don't want to be looking in November like, oh no, we're short 2 midfielders.
Yeah, need to have it done.
Yeah.
I think they say Wisemantle, the Wallabies assistant coach, he's the front runner.
Well, when does the preseason start?
November, does it?
Well, because the Reds are already preparing right now for.
They got the Wales test.
Yeah, they got the
and
Wales
Oh, they're
test.
still playing.
The
yes.
tour of Tonga.
That's
Does
smart. They're
any
doing
other
that.
Super Rugby team have that? Or no, not this year.
Tars sort of let them go. We'll let them go back to Shoot Shield.
Yeah.
And let them sort of run around there. Force is a weird one. Force have occasionally played. They played the Cheetahs last year.
Yeah, 3 match
They go
series.
like they go and find them stuff to do because they don't have a third tier competition.
Yeah.
That's the big issue. There's no
Do they go back to local
NPC and-
Perth comp? Do they do that? Before we-
most do.
Yeah.
You've seen Hamish Stewart come across and play for us before.
Yeah.
So
True.
whether they let other players go over to Shoot Shield and QPR to get some good footy in, that's sort of
Yeah, interesting stuff. So see how that one unfolds. Boy, let's get to our club rugby recap just quickly. Obviously, tough one, boys. You're right in the mix. 27-17 going down against the West Bulldogs. 7-5 at a half time. Comments? Something?
It's just the physical side.
Yeah, it was a pretty fucking physical game, bro.
it's a tough one to swallow.
Yeah.
And to come out of there with no bonus points, so sort of come out. Yeah, we didn't even get one bonus point in the end. Sort of sucks because they scored that late try, but you look at the game, it was sort of neck and neck the whole time.
100% it was.
What is it? 22-17 with 4 minutes to play.
Yeah.
I thought in the first half we left a lot of opportunities out there. We created a lot of opportunities for us to score. We were stripped on the goal line twice. We were made a break and didn't finish. Like there was a lot of chances for us to win that game. Certain things didn't really go away, like bounce of the ball, and sort of we lost Nuku late in that game, which I'm sure a lot of people argue was just a general push and shove that happens. And it's sort of a hard one to swallow because I thought we did
did
We're
so
doing
well
well.
to stay in that
Fuck yeah.
against such a physical pack. And like I was saying with the Blues, like you're versing a physical team, you don't want them to have the ball for long amounts of time. And I think that we were giving West the ball for a long amount of time, but we're fronting up in defense better than what we've done all year.
Yeah, the first half, man,
even the second half.
Yeah.
And the hard part, and I fucking hate this rule, excuse my language, the sternum rule is the stupidest thing they've brought into the comp.
Yeah, fucking oath. It just
And-
ruins it.
I understand the player safety of it.
Changes
But
games.
there's got to be more common sense. And I'm pretty sure this ain't just coming from us losing on the weekend. This is the whole year. And I bet you majority of the players in our comp would agree. Like you can't now make a dominant two-man tackle or make a dominant tackle sort of in that area because it instantly looks like it's hand up. Like
Yeah.
the amount of times you're tackled above the sternum in a game is ridiculous. Like I had my teeth go through my mouth on the weekend. Just from sort of shoulder contact, but it wasn't like it's not like it just happens. It's footy, and for us to be sort of encouraging the chop tackle, one, it suits bigger bodies because now they get an offload or they're getting a one-on-one because it's that sort of risk factor of going in as a second man now is way too
Oh,
hard.
fucking oath.
Like we had a couple on, like Lucas's one where he rushed out of the line and stuck a hand out and he barely touched Davey Vaiu and it got called a high tech. Like it's just, and it's hard for refs too. And I got frustrated with the ref on the weekend because I didn't feel like it was sort of balanced for us because we're a smaller side when we are physical.
Yeah.
It sort of doesn't look as I guess as clean as when a bigger guy makes a smaller tackle on a little guy. So it's so hard to judge, and it just seems to be causing way too many stoppages in a club rugby game.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
It's a terrible law. Get the fuck rid of it.
And I don't think they will. Like I think everyone's just gonna have to adapt over the next 5 years.
Josh didn't even know it was a rule when we were playing.
Yeah, he got done for an upright one of just trying to hold someone up.
Yeah.
And
How
I could
does
see
that
why
work?
he was so frustrated about it.
And he's like, what the fuck is that rule?
The bloke's
Yeah.
6'6". Like, is
6'8".
Is he even bigger?
Yeah.
He's got to bend over. Yeah, it's
And the
tough.
thing is, he gets it all the time. But because he's so small, it sort of gets brushed to the side and it's like, well,
Yeah.
I'm not that small.
sorry. Well, compared to that Westpac you are
Yeah.
when you're trying to run through the middle of them.
Nah,
But
but
yeah, it's a hard one. I just don't really like the law. And
it's a terrible law. And if they're fucking watching this, get rid of it because it fucking sucks and it's ruining rugby
Yeah,
everywhere.
It's a shame. And we'll see that one pans out. Was there plenty? Look like there was plenty of chat on between the two backlines. I was sort of close to the field. I just heard. I don't know, plenty of.
was it from me?
I think you were talking some rubbish.
I think
No,
it's-
it wasn't rubbish. I actually asked Davey Vaiu at one point if he was going to Sukasa later on in the night, which is a nightclub in Brisbane.
Yeah, right.
I think it was general chat because at
Yeah,
one
it's
point we had 3 scrum resets.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Just
okay,
chilling.
we'll just start yarning to the other backs while the forwards sort of get their dark arts right.
Any potty banter? It was alright this
Oh,
week.
fuck. I think that people do it now just for a mention on
Yeah,
the podcast.
They've been listening.
Yeah.
Ethan Dobbins
I
gave us a shout out. Said he
Bro.
Oh, Ethan
enjoys
Dobbins.
the potty.
Yeah, love that.
We had heaps of scrum penalties down on the line, and the whole crowd behind me is just yelling out, "What's your next topic? What's your next topic? What are you doing in your next episode?" And then I jammed in and missed the tackle. They scored out on my edge, and they were like, "You should do a topic on how to cover your players."
Oh, no.
Well,
Shut
did you
the
run out?
fuck up.
Did you run out behind me?
Huh?
Did you run out behind me on the weekend?
Yeah.
As we come through the tunnel, I just heard, "Your podcast is shit." I was like, there
Mate,
it is.
It's good though.
I was like,
It's-
we haven't even kicked off yet. Let the game kick off.
It's good that we're obviously finding a bit of a lane that people in the club rugby world know what's going on. I don't-
Yeah.
Anyone watching, if you want to sign a petition to change the tackle laws back to normal,
Yeah.
lock it in.
Fucking oath. Let's actually do it.
Let's
We
start
have
a
the
petition.
power.
Do we? Yeah.
Well, we're the players.
We're sharing
Yeah.
it.
Bloody oath, Ree.
I don't mean this podcast.
Oh, yeah. We also that.
You know what? I'll probably get coat hanging next
No, but
game
it's
now.
true, right? The players have the power.
Yeah.
Well, we could all just fucking, if we were like ants.
Start our own comp.
Yeah, if we were like ants and all stuck together
Yeah.
and all decided, fuck that, we're not going to play until you change the law.
Ants.
They'd go.
Well, you know, a bug's life.
Oh, yeah.
When one stands up, they all stand up.
Nice, Ree. All right, good luck with that one. Around the grounds, Brothers over South, 29-26. That was a classic
you watched
game.
that?
I have not. No, I saw the score. Did you?
Red card. First 20 minutes against Souths.
Who was it?
Alofa, who's one of the nicest guys I've met.
Yeah.
And I love talking.
I didn't realise it was the Alofa, the
Yeah.
Super Rugby champion, 2014 winger for the Waratahs.
Yeah, he's played two.
Yeah, Lofa. He
He's,
was on.
he's one of the, like, I had a yarn to him down at Souths. I had a yarn to him at the photography thing at Storybridge.
I talk to
One
him
of the
all
nicest
time.
guys.
Yeah. Oh,
For him to react like that,
I haven't seen any of it.
so I've watched the 20 minutes. He got red carded for, and I don't even know if it was meant to punch him, but he kind of come behind him,
okay.
clocked him while he was trying to rip him backwards.
Right.
And it comes across a little bit like a punch. And Brothers must have done something to set him off. There must have been a lot of chat and mongrel going on in that first 20 minutes and off-ball stuff.
So they did well to keep in the fight then.
Yeah, so for them to be in a chance to win it at the end selves, outstanding, because they pretty much played 60 minutes with 14 men.
Yeah, bloody oath. UQ 37-26 over GPS. UQ have turned a corner since we beat them. They've fucking looked.
We poked the bear.
Yeah. And then finally the Mighty Eagles, the second win of the season, 26-24 over Sunnybank, which was good to see.
That was a good game to watch too,
Man, the
actually.
comp's so even at the moment.
Yeah.
It's bloody good.
Which I'm hoping works for us, because I think we've almost got to go 6 for 6 to make finals, and we need a couple of upsets sort of here and there to help our case.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? I believe our boys can do it, and it's a tough ask, but
Hey, mate.
we put ourselves in this position sort of losing those closer games in the first round. So hopefully a couple of upsets to UQ and West and we can maybe sneak in there back into the season. Because I'd love for that UQ versus us game at the end of the year.
Imagine
Up at
that.
Oh,
UQ
that'd be
being
unreal.
Yeah.
winning team goes through to the final.
Yeah, that's what we want. That's what we love to see. Because the competition bye this week, so these boys will be back in action next week, back at home against the North Eagles as well. Rugby this weekend, top 14 grand final. Toulouse, as we know, DuPont, $1.18 against Bordeaux, $4.50.
Holy.
I'm back in DuPont.
The thing is, it's in Bordeaux, which maybe helps a little bit. So Bordeaux have a home crowd, but the DuPont factor. If he wins this again, man, like
Bro,
If he wins,
this and into the
they're
Olympics.
so far out of the favourite. What the hell?
Yeah, they're so short. Yeah, they're stacked.
remember, like it's hard. Like the season goes for a long time,
Yeah.
and a lot of those players are in and out. So I think the season starts when the Six Nations starts.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's the most.
So a
footy
lot
ever.
of those friends, like DuPont, Intermac, all those guys weren't playing at that point. Remember Noah was playing in it?
Yeah.
That's
Same thing.
same thing. It's a long comp.
Yeah.
Yeah, very long. Yes, that'll be very interesting to watch. That one is New Zealand Maori in Japan this weekend.
Moldy.
Did I say that right? New Zealand Maori.
Yeah, there we go. That's better.
They're in action this weekend, aren't they? Or was that next weekend? I reckon they're playing this week.
Are they playing this weekend?
Oh, I thought I could be wrong, but I thought I saw they were. But
The squad got named on Tuesday. I got your named yesterday. Very good squad.
Yeah.
Um,
That's stacked as.
stacked as for
So
a,
many excellent
for a Moldy squad.
Yeah.
is Will Jordan in that squad?
No. I don't think Will Jordan's Moldy. Well, he's never been in the Moldies.
Where did I
Yeah.
see this?
It's hard though because someone got named in the Moldy. Joe Moody.
Yeah.
I don't
Cullen
know, he was
Grace.
Moldy. Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah, Josh Morby's in there. I saw. Rivers Rayhana is in there from the Crusaders.
Quinn Tupaia, Balin Sullivan were both named. Their coach is a legend. Floss, Ross Filippo.
Yeah,
One of the best men you'll ever meet.
it's a great concept, I reckon. How you guys do that?
New Zealand Moldy.
Yeah, it's just so good.
Yeah, well,
Been
we
around
have
for a
that
while.
much depth. I think, like, you can have a New Zealand Moldy team and still compete against other national teams.
Yeah, sorry. So they're playing this weekend
Oh, are they?
in Japan,
That's great. I'll be watching that. There's some footy for us to watch.
Saturday 8 p.m.
Oh, fucking oath. Prime time.
Yeah, so okay, there we go. That's good.
I got the phone call once to say I'd made that team.
Really?
Yep, and I was in a moon boot.
Oh, damn.
It was around exactly this time in 2019. Got the phone call and I remember being happy as, and then didn't say anything, and then I had to ring them back. Roger Randall called me and I called him straight back. I was like, I'm in a moon boot. Like I have to get scans today.
Oh, that's
So,
devastating.
and that was when they played Fiji and they went up against Semi Red Radra.
Fuck, that would have been sick.
So I got named in it, but it was actually a real. Guess it was a blessing and a curse. Obviously, curse not me, but the blessing was I got to go to
You
Navarre's
didn't have to
funeral.
verse Samurai Joe.
Yeah, no, Navarre passed away the same day I actually got named in the team, but
Right.
was injured, so I still got to go say my goodbyes and stuff like that. So it was a bit of a blessing in that regard,
There
but
you go.
can always claim I got the phone call at least.
Mate, bloody oath you can. We'll look to wrap up here, but I don't know if you saw between two posts on Monday, they were talking about all the different topics around Super Rugby and what we're going to do to fix the comp. And do you guys see Stephen Hoyles' take on how they should do the Super Rugby format on what days of the week?
Is it
I like that.
based
It was-
on the NFL?
Yeah, it was great. So what he
Yeah,
said was
yeah.
1 game Thursday, 1 game Saturday, 2 Sunday, 1 Monday.
I did agree that we still need a game Saturday night.
Prime time Saturday night.
Prime
We
time
need that.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that the most important thing is you got to make one of those games free to air.
Well, one of them is currently.
Yeah, they always have one every.
Really?
Every Saturday night it's on 9.
Yeah, but Saturday
9
night.
Yeah. Oh,
Saturday night. It can't be Saturday night.
which one would you like, Ree? Well,
Well,
it could
It
make
would have to be like a Monday night or something. Something where there's nothing else. Like he was saying, something
well,
where
a Sunday night or a Monday night, which could be a standalone
Monday night. Yeah, I reckon that would be perfect. And then you're not competing with
league or AFL.
league or AFL. Exactly what he said. Yeah.
It's smart.
The high school and Friday night thing, I don't think they'll ever be able to do. Reason being is a lot of those GPS schools are in their traditions for longer than probably Aussie rugby's been around. Like they have that format. That means it's not just the high school's first 15s playing on that Friday night.
But this doesn't affect Super Rugby. You can still have Super Rugby on Thursday night.
The Thursday night one's fine,
Yeah.
but you know how they want to do the Friday? They're like talking about high schools playing.
Oh, right, okay.
That's not gonna work.
GBS won't say.
No, and
Well, fuck GPS. They can change it for
The greater good of the game.
exactly.
but then you have to take a whole day off school.
Oh shit.
Like the whole school. But you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everyone plays, and that's how the GPS get their
Well,
crowds.
they could
and-
just get the top teams playing on the Friday nights, and then every other team can play on the Saturday.
Yeah, one standalone game. Well, anyway, every time that guy speaks, I reckon he's on the money. Stephen Halls. I reckon he's really.
Get him in charge.
Coach Randwick at the moment, isn't
Yeah, yeah. He just knows his shit.
Yeah, get him in charge.
I was actually talking to the guys at the stand, like double take guys, the studio guys, the other day, and he was behind them at the Australia Fiji game in World Cup.
Yeah.
And he said, he was just breaking down everything. Like, oh, this guy had his wrong foot forwards, therefore he was isolated. That's why he lost the ball. Like, just
Little things.
Yeah, it was incredible to listen to.
Some people just have like a brain that just works at like a different level.
Yeah, like this guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Same sort of rugby
yeah,
brain.
yeah, like the rugby IQ is just through the roof. You don't understand it until you're with them.
That's why you're on this podcast, mate. It's great.
Hear me out. But if we're going to do the Friday night, I wouldn't mind putting a club game on a Friday night on free-to-air TV. Like it doesn't have to be every.
Fair,
club
we can
plays
barely
on a
get
Friday.
Super Rugby on free to air, let alone anything
No,
else.
but you know what I
I
mean.
get it, the concept for sure.
Like if we can, but I think the viewership in it would be pretty good. Because I tell you now, if let's say we're looking in this week, we're playing on the said day, but Brothers UQ is playing on the Friday night. I'm watching it.
Yeah.
Pretty sure all the Brothers fans are watching it.
Yeah.
All the UQ fans are watching. I'm pretty sure every other player in the QPR is probably going to go and watch that Friday night game.
Yeah.
Get some ads.
Well, a good chat. Obviously, the free-to-air schedule's coming out, so there's 5 games on Gem to end the year. But maybe put one of them on Friday night in that schedule.
And like, I would love to play on a Friday night because one night games
Friday
are awesome.
night games are the best.
Two,
You get weekend off.
I can drink Friday and Saturday. It's a double whammy for most players, and I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of players in the same thing would like to play on a Friday and then be able to get on the beers, and then they can go. Say you only play a first grade or a second grade game on the Friday night.
Yeah.
Then you can go down in the club the next day and get on the beers, watch third grade, watch the women's, watch all that sort of stuff go on, and chill throughout the day. And it'd be a good option to sort of change it up. Like
That
I'd love
would
to see the
be-
high school, but
That's a great idea, Tyler.
Yeah.
That is a great idea.
Well, club
Now,
rugby's our shining light at the moment.
all the
isn't it?
strings.
Me?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
where you come in.
Okay, yeah, right, thanks, mate.
Start pulling all the strings.
Oh.
there may have to be some things go on at
things
clubs to make sure the lights are
That's the issue.
good enough. Like
Well,
we're
could-
fine.
No, we're not.
Are we still?
No, we're not.
Our
We-
lights are actually pretty poor.
We can't do it. Yeah, we actually
How
couldn't.
do we
I can
host
see
the
the rugby
Oceania
ball.
and stuff?
We don't anymore. We lost it because our lights aren't good enough.
Really?
Bond, invest in some better lights.
Yeah, that's what's going to Sunday, mate. Yeah, it's a story for another day. That's why we won't get night games free to air at Bond
Yeah.
until they do it.
Well, our lights are fine. I can see what I'm doing.
Yeah, well, not good for the TV audience, mate. Anyway, so yeah, plenty to chat out. We'll get not this podcast. We'd like to break into the third tier national championship discussion with you two as well. What we do there, but we'll do that in the weeks to come. Anything outside the realms of rugby catching your eye, boys? Before we wrap up.
Thought I had gout on Sunday.
Okay.
Had a filet fish, but it turns out it's a broken toe.
Yeah, right.
I was like, oh no! I thought I'd finally cracked the gout thing.
So everyone, how you broke your toe?
I was wearing my boot, and someone managed to stand on my foot, hook my bottom lace around my bottom studs, and my whole foot got crushed.
And you didn't decide in the game, well, this is kind of hurting my foot. I'm going to change it.
No, because
They had so many stoppages.
No, I flicked it
ample
off.
Oh,
straight away, like it was that sore when it happened.
it crushed
Like my
it.
full foot was crushed. That I was like trying to grab it and
That's
flick
so
it off.
random. Like, how does that happen? Nuts.
Mate, I have not had a good run of injuries this year. Like I've had the most random things. I've had the cracked
I have
skull,
the most random injuries as well.
missing toenails.
No good.
I've broken my arm, 2 bones on my arm, sticking my hand out to catch a rugby ball that's going past me.
How does that work? Jesus
I
Christ.
have no fucking idea. I broke my hand trying to get into the channel of a touch game, and someone just picked that ball at me, and my pinky went. "Eek."
That was personal.
Snapped my hand.
Tough, mate. You guys seen the Hawk Tour girl?
Hook to and spit on that thing.
thing.
She's a good girl.
Mate,
Oh,
she's a great girl.
You know why it's blowing up? Because it's facts.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like every guy's like, she fucking knows.
She gets it. Yeah.
She gets that shit.
But you know what? Like I
American
hate
women,
when like people go out there and they start ripping her. Like I'd hate to be her dad. If you watch the whole interview, you can see she's just taking the piss out
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
Like,
Awesome.
she's a personality.
Yeah.
She's like, Pookie, you're the only one for me.
Yeah,
Like, the
yeah.
whole interview
It's
is
gone
hilarious.
viral to the next level. She's
Yeah.
been trying to hide it and trying to find who it is. Apparently, she lost her job at the child care centre.
Like
No,
J.
that was
Cole
fake.
Is
says,
that fake? Okay.
Because I've seen that and I went and like Googled it and
Yeah.
they're like, no, there's a different person.
Okay, good, good.
like J. Cole says, every good joke contains true shit.
Yep, she's spot on, mate.
Jesus, that's deep.
Yeah. American women, mate.
I love how she keeps her accent through the hot
Yeah.
Don't spit on that thing.
It's got a whole accent to
It's
it.
unbelievable how the internet.
If
can
you're
do
out
that.
there, follow me.
Okay. Yeah, so, and I saw her signing some hats or whatever. She needs to, from a marketing point of view, she could have made some money off this. She moved
I think
fast.
she copyrighted it.
Yeah, I hope so. 'cause
Actually, I think she's already onto it.
she would shift some serious merch.
She
doing
put a
that.
patent in and everything, so
Yeah,
it
as she
becomes
should.
her own.
So then she won't need the childcare anymore, tell you what. Yeah, anyway, so that was caught my eye. Anything else, boys?
Origin tonight, who are we backing?
Blues.
I reckon Blues too.
I think the Blues will get up.
Yeah, fucking hopefully.
Okay, we all agree. That's concerned.
Well,
Easy dubs.
I'm just saying this because I won a game 3.
Yeah.
I
think we
also
all
want a
want a
game
game
3,
three.
but I don't think that Queensland were that amazing in game 1 without.
Well, yeah. We don't really know what would have happened. To be
I think
fair.
Mitch Moses
I
will be
know.
a big difference.
Yeah,
reckon
Mitch
he's gonna go
Moses
good?
will.
Like a directive
And
half.
Trell Mitt with a point to prove.
Yeah.
Got a
Yeah.
few multis out there. Let's hope one hits.
Yes, facts. Same.
Trying to pay for my weekend of drinking.
Fair enough. Yeah, so that should be good as well. The Olympic trials on the weekend, the sprinting, USA. Did you see much of this?
I saw that fella.
Are you into the sprinting? What's
I
it?
just saw that fella that.
Noah Lyles.
Yeah, that's.
So he had his.
You ain't world champs.
He had his. You
First, he had Blue Eyes White Dragon.
yeah, your card. Or
And
see-
then after it, he had Zodiac. I'm pretty sure. That's,
Oh, yes, I did.
that's
see
fucking
that.
sick. I
is,
reckon.
it Zodiac?
No, not Zodiac. You're thinking Zodiac signs. I know you're
What
talking
Yu-Gi-Oh as well was the second one. I only
Yeah,
saw Blue
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Eyes White Dragon. I didn't see the
The
Blue
one-
Eyes White
the one where you
Dragon,
connect
and
the
then
5.
yeah, what is he called?
Maybe it is Zodiac.
Nah, it's not. It's
No.
not. Nah, it's Exodia.
Exodia, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry, man's knows is Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah,
I
bloody
got
oath.
decks at home.
What else
Anyone
happened
want
on
the
the
smoke, Ronan? That's you specifically.
Rob Whittaker. Big win on the
Oh.
weekend.
He
What,
won
a,
it.
what
I
an
saw he won.
uppercut. What an uppercut.
First time he's versed a non-ranked guy in like fucking ages.
So, mate, do you remember Josh Patar?
Josh Patar.
He does
Played
these.
breakers
He does
as
these
well.
Yeah.
So
For the Stands.
He
his
does the
thing.
For the Stands podcast. It's like a pretty big in
He's
the
going-
UFC.
he's
All
going
the
well.
fighters come onto it because they love them. Like Sean Strickland was
He's done
on
a
it.
great job with that.
They had Rob Whittaker on it, and he actually talks about like fighters not wanting to fight like unranked fighters. And he goes, "We're in the fight game. You should be fighting who you want. If you say you don't want to fight someone, then you're already pretty much you're worried you're going to lose, and you're in
Yeah.
your own head." He goes, "You can't do that in the octagon.
Yeah.
You start worrying about someone beating you, you're gone."
You're in the wrong sport, really.
I was like, "That's a great way to approach it."
Bloody oath, boys. We're hitting an hour here. Look to wrap up. Any
Yeah.
final thoughts, boys? Weekend off? Any plans?
Just gonna start up that petition to get the
Step law change?
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
Good.
Law change. Then might go for a walk on the beach.
Nice. Wholesome.
Aye.
Go to a cafe, read a couple books.
Yeah. What are you reading?
50 ways to. Hold on.
50 Shades of Grey.
50 ways to make money easy.
Fuck.
First page.
Nice.
Start a podcast.
Yes. Nice.
We've
you,
actually
mate?
got a bit of a club event on Friday.
Oh, I saw that.
A
Yeah.
few lawn bowls and
Yeah.
a few drinks to sort of, I guess, keep building that team culture and
Yeah, I like it.
I guess celebrate what we've done and get together before we go into this sort of next 6 games.
Lovely. On that note, boys, we're back next week for a massive test week, boys. International footy
Welcome
is
back.
here. I
Fucking
can't wait
oath.
for it. I love the June test, personally. It's one of my favourites. So
I just
good.
love international footy. It's the
Yeah,
pinnacle
it's-
of our game.
Yeah.
It's unreal. So enjoy your weekend. We'll see you next week for another cracking rugby